hit it.
It was just it was the Shelton Benjamin springboard into the super kick. It was just.
It was beautiful.
It was just.
I remember watching that live.
I couldn't say. Me too. I lost my shit. I lost my shit for the rest of the night.
Bro, I was done.
I lost my shit for the rest of the night.
I think I went to sleep for like a long time after that.
I was done. And that was like in the middle of the show.
It was.
There was
not
nothing
supposed to happen.
There was nothing else on that show that matched that.
Did they come up with that ending, you think, in match? Because I'm like...
No.
Why would they put it right there, though?
Because if you look back at that match...
Mm-hmm. You felt like they were setting it up?
As a professional, I can see this. I can see the eye contact and the signs and shit.
No, I'm saying like... I'm saying Sean and Shelton. Did they... In that match, did they say like... Yo,
no, they had to put that... They had to put that together.
Okay, so... But between them two. Not between like WWE. Because I'm thinking if WWE knew that moment was coming... that shit would have been end of the show type shit. Because that was crazy. Like... I was done.
That's been a highlight since then.
It was on the beginning of
the show. That's been a highlight for almost 20 years.
It was ridiculous.
I think that was 02.
Can you even remember that match?
I think that was like 03.
Can you remember that match?
03, 04. It was a beat the clock match.
It was quick.
It was or a gold rush match, whatever it was.
One of those.
It was a contendership type match.
That shit
was nuts. That's all I remember for it.
That's all I remember.
I don't remember what title
I
was for.
I remember
or anything else. I remember the match itself was also very good. And then that happened, and it was just like
it was
fucking legendary shit. And poor Shelton Benjamin didn't get his fucking just desserts until like this year.
He went
with the Hurt Business.
Bro, we have not talked about that.
With the Hurt Business.
How dope is that?
Yeah.
We did a little bit last week, but that's just so awesome, man. I'm so happy because like I was getting offended because they never do that with black factions. Mm-hmm. Never. If it's Evolution, if it's the Shield, if it's any kind of white-based group, they always give them all the titles at some point. They
don't have that many black type factions anyway. It was Nation of Domination
because they won't do them. Because they wouldn't do them. Yeah. So that's my point, though. And whenever they did...
And it was interesting because DX, even in the Attitude Era, DX had the titles. Mm-hmm. The Nation didn't.
Nope, that's what I'm saying.
D-Lo had the European title.
And then he would go back and forth with X-Pac.
There was no hardcore.
And when he went back and forth with X-Pac, Triple H would have the IC title, and the Outlaws would have the tag title. But they were going back and forth. So
D-Lo and The Rock were the two.
Right.
But the Outlaws had the tag titles.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking Mark Henry and
that's my point.
Godfather didn't have those.
That's my point. But every white faction would end up with all the belts somehow. China had the women's title. X-Pac had the European.
She wasn't in DX anymore at that point.
I'm just saying, overall, these kind of factions will always end up with all of their members having titles, like legit runs, though, and it'll be like something big. It's just like, bro, that never happened. So when I saw that shit this week, I was like, what? Or like the other week, it's been like 3 weeks now when this podcast
as we're taping.
Yeah, I'm like...
As you're seeing this.
I'm like, jeez. And Bobby is such a dominating looking figure, man. He just looks the part. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's our champion. Now they gave him his eyebrows back. Because when he didn't have his eyebrows, I couldn't fuck with him.
Well, that was alopecia.
It's not my fault.
It's not his fault either.
That's fair. That's fair.
Poor Lashley.
That's a fair response. That's a fair response. But I'm glad Vince looked at him when he came back and he said, listen, no headband. We need your goddamn eyebrows.
Well, he kept losing his headband.
He didn't need it. That shit was weird. He
like,
did it
like
when he was in Impact. He had that shit on.
Like the problem was at some point during the match, a lot of times the headband would come off.
In WWE or in TNT?
In WWE, just because of what shit would do. Like somebody would do something. Somebody would give him a headlock and the shit would come off.
Shit never came off over there for whatever reason. It was just glued on.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I just know I thought it was weird as fuck. I'm like, where the fuck is Lashley? I didn't even know he had alopecia until right now, actually. But it makes sense because I just I don't understand why he doesn't have any eyebrows anymore. But then
fucking fell off
when they gave him back though. When they put him back, that shit worked because I was like, okay, I get it. Now you look like the champion.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they got a run is my point. The main point of this is shouts to Lashley, shouts to everybody in the Hurt Business. MVP has done a hell of a job since he's been back because that pretty much solidified that they were going to get it. I don't know why Vince loves him so much, but he apparently does. And I'm here for it. Shouts to black people. Except for Brent. Black skin.
How did we even get here? Cause I swear I don't recognize shit here.